Well, good morning, everybody. As the Daybreak show continues on, we've got two great guests in studio. First time in a really long time.
Yeah.
Dick Taylor and Wendy Smith from the Port of Shelton. Hey, guys, how are you doing?
Hey,
Super.
good.
Good to
Good
see
morning.
you both.
Yeah, it's
too.
good to be here.
It's been a while since we've had you in to catch up things that have been going on at the port, so let's kind of just do a look back at the last few months. How you been? What's been going on?
Well, we've been doing, we're fine.
Okay.
We're fine. And of course, we've lived through this whole pandemic issue. And we've come out with in pretty good shape.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really good shape.
It was a
as matter of
tough
fact.
year in general, and I know that you guys worked really hard with your tenants to help them work through this. What's kind of been the response with them, Wendy? How have they all fared through everything?
Actually, for the most part, great. I can only say we've had a couple. What we did was we waived late fees
Okay.
for anyone that needed that option. Only a couple of them took that option. We had one tenant that actually reduced their land size, and that's our pyro spectacular tenant. There were, as you know, there were no shows, no big events,
Yeah.
and that's where those take place. So we're hopeful that now that, Mariners games and things, because they did all those. So we're hopeful that maybe that'll come back to be, but we were just glad to keep them on site in some capacity. We fared well.
Yeah.
I think we had one business closed down, and so we have a 5,000 square foot building available
Okay.
for anyone of interest. And we purchased the Olympic Air building from Kirk Cousins early this year. And it included a hangar building, almost 8,000 square foot hangar. It's about 7,800 square feet. And Cedar Helicopters was the tenant in there, and he remained. So he
Great.
signed a new lease with us, so that was exciting. And has a couple full-time jobs that are included in that. But we still have a 2-story office building that has been vacant for some time under Kirk Cousins, but that's available as well. So
Nice.
yeah, we're doing good. We just finished that, huge paving project.
Yeah.
So that's in closeout as we speak. So we just have a couple more items to finish closeout, and then FAA signs off on that. That'll contain a big single federal audit this summer, and that's always exciting. So, but yeah, so times are good. We're still meeting with Belco. We did a curb, partnership grant loan a couple years ago, and they're still planning ahead on that. And so that's to build most likely a building of some fashion. It may be connected to one of their current buildings. We're kind of looking at what that looks like currently. So things are good. We had a fire.
Yeah, that was the next question.
Yeah, we had a fire.
So in and among crazy times, April, we ended up, and it was just kind of a casual evening. I was falling asleep on my couch, but got the call from maintenance manager Ned, and he said, I'm hearing reports that there's flames coming out of one of our buildings. And I said, oh my gosh. He said, I'm gonna race down there, I'll call you back. And he called and he said, I think it might be gone.
Yeah.
And so I raced out, and sure enough, as you know, the building was completely engulfed, and fire departments from all over the area did a fantastic job. Saved, there's a building right on the other side of the wall, and
That far away.
saved all of that, and so amazing. And so we're going through that process, which is interesting. The investigation just was completed, and of course, as most fire investigations, it was inconclusive. But
Well, it was inconclusive, but it wasn't arson.
yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
good.
It was not set intentionally, but most likely some form of electrical something. So we're in the process of getting a contractor to demo that, what remains there, and then start thinking about what the new look of the building. We've had really great relationship with the tenant, is M&R Distribution. They're doing their part and working hard. I'm hopeful to get back in. We'll see where that where that
That was
takes
one
them.
of the early first
They were,
tenants.
yeah.
M&R, I
Yeah.
It
feel.
was our first
Steve
grow.
was a guy who came in a long time ago. One of the first
Yeah.
conversations around the start of the 502 talk, even.
Yeah, so this is Mark, blanking on his last name, but Mark and Rick
Okay.
is the M&R.
Yeah.
Steve was another one out of Johns Prairie.
Okay.
But yes, they were the first, those two really were kind of the first instigators. And this is a tier 3. It's one of the largest,
Yeah.
and really one of the largest in the area and in the state. So it definitely takes its toll. My understanding is the company themselves have an outdoor facility out of this area, but the indoor is kind of where the
Sure.
the needs are. So we're just working on that. It's definitely a process, an
Yeah.
interesting one.
I bet,
Insurance
as
and
you add-
investigations and
Cannabis into the mix there,
yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
What's
yeah.
going on this summer? What are the plans? Do you have the cars that are coming and racing or
Yep,
practicing
yep.
there on the runways?
Yeah, they don't really race. They just run
They
around.
feel like
Auto-
they're racing. Though.
Yeah, they do, but
yeah,
they're not
autocross
driving
or
around.
whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm busy, busy with all those events. I think people are just really ramped back up and feeling good about, being able to get out and do things. And so, yeah, we're seeing, heightened numbers, new groups,
Yeah.
coming in. We got word that Oysterfest is not happening on port property.
Okay.
I've kind of unofficially heard that they weren't going to have it. I've
There's a lot-
unofficially heard maybe somewhere else.
There's a
so-
lot of conversations out there right now. I'm talking with some of the folks from Skookum to try to get them on to clear the air a bit on
Yeah.
what's happening. But
Yeah.
for sure, we can say that it's not going to be at Port
Yeah.
of Shelton
Yep,
property.
correct.
That'll
yeah.
be the first time in a long time that it hasn't been.
Yeah, except
Yeah.
last year when nothing.
I guess exactly. First time in a
Yeah.
long time,
Well, the
except for
first
last
time
year.
in the history of Oysterfest,
That's
it has been at a port property since
oh,
it
yeah.
started.
yeah.
Yeah,
From the
that's
fairgrounds
true.
before
Yeah.
that to the
Yeah.
port property.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, it's good to see you guys. It's good to know.
Oh, we got a
that-
new company coming too.
Who? Can you
It's
tell?
exciting. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's the squirrel suit guys. You know what
Oh
squirrel
yeah,
suits
yeah,
are?
for sure.
Yeah.
The menu. There's for people that don't know. These are the suits that sky jumpers wear.
Yeah.
And they spread their arms
And they
out and got
they have
wings
things
underneath.
here. Sure.
And they can fly with these things, and they're going to be manufacturing them here at the Port of Shelton.
Oh, that's great. I
Yeah.
was just watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier on Disney Plus yesterday, and that was one of the first scenes. Was a very
Oh.
exciting skydiving squirrels
Nice.
jump scene.
Yeah.
That's something else.
It is.
So you're going to
It is.
do the inaugural welcome ribbon cutting squirrel suit jump then, right?
Yeah, right.
yeah, one of us.
Yeah.
We'll pencil that out down the road then. Nick
Oh, yeah.
Taylor and Wendy Smith. It's good to see you guys. It's been
Good
a
to
while.
be here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you too.
And the community really likes these updates, knowing that all good business happening up at the Port of Shelton. PortofShelton.com. You can find the links there, and we'll continue to check back in with these folks.
be
Good
back.
to see you guys.
We'll be
You
back.
too. It's great to be here.